Welcome everyone to CS210. I hope you had a very pleasant first week. I'm making this video on how to use the Codio workplace. In case you don't have Visual Studio installed or Xcode installed and you need to use the Codio, it's really a lot simpler than it appears to be. So I'm going to attempt to make this video as plain and simple as I can. However, I highly, that's 3 highlights. Let's go with 10 highlights. Recommend that if you have a Windows machine, you use Visual Studio Community 2022, or if you have a Mac, you can use Xcode or one of the other environments that are there. Just download it to your computer. It's much easier than trying to manipulate the Codio. Plus, you always have it on your own computer so you can back it up. So let's go in how to do Codio right now. I'm in the course menu, so I'm going to click on Start here. Now, I'm going in as an instructor, but it's going to be very similar to what you're going to do. So I'm clicking on the optional Codio, which is right here. And I'm going to click on the Codio learning environment. So this is the part that may be a little bit different for you than I have. So I have all these students in here. But what you're going to do is you're going to simply click on Edit Assignments. And obviously, you're not going to add an assignment. You're just going to click on the Codio Learning Environment. And it may take a little bit of time to load on your computer the very first time. You may get a screen over here that has a bunch of stuff in here. You can choose Collapse on here. I don't have it. I believe this is what will bring it here. So if you see this, then just click on Collapse. The most important thing here is Visual Studio and then the Google over here. So the Chrome, to open up the Chrome browser. So let's go through exactly how to create a Visual Studio project. So I'm going to click on Microsoft Visual Studio. You can also use Eclipse to do C++, but Visual Studio is much easier to use, and I can fully support it because I've been using it for a lot of years. So let's click on the Visual Studio 2022. And it may take a bit of time because remember, you're working on the virtual machine that is supplied for you by SNHU. So let's get up here to Visual Studio. And the very first thing you want to do is forget all this stuff here. And notice how slow it's running. Click on Continue Without a Code. So now we will wait for it to come here. And we're going to go to Project. And we're going to go to New. We're going to click on Project here. And what's important is to make sure it says C++ on top in here. You may get something that says all languages, C#. Change it to C++. Now, this is what's important, especially if you download Visual Studio 2022. Use empty project. Do not use console, CMake, or any of those other things. Use empty project. Once you click on empty project, just click on Next. Name your project over here. Now, I highly recommend placing the solution and project in the same directory. You don't have to, but I highly recommend it. And you can modify this on your own computer. I wouldn't mess around with it if you're using the Codio. So use the name that you feel comfortable with. If you're starting with the what's my debugging assignment for activity 2, you can name it that. Whatever you feel comfortable with. And again, make sure that this is placed here. So then I'm going to click on Create. And it will take a bit of time. That's okay. So now we have all kinds of cool stuff in here, which you can ignore. To create an actual project file, you need to click on, let's try one more time, right-click on Source Files. And I'm going to click on Add and New Item. It will bring you to this screen here, and you can just put in whatever the file name you want. If you like more advanced features, click on Show All, and then you want the CPP file. So notice that it automatically has source.cpp. So you just change it to whatever you want to call it. And let's just do hello world, which I cannot spell. There we go. New at habit. Click on add and eventually begin with a whole bunch of stuff, and then it will create an empty screen. So now we have a whole world. So I'm actually going to do the hello world for you. So let's click on the very first thing you want to do is put in comments. To put in comments, you would put your name. And notice the 2 slashes here are comments. You can do multi-line comments by using this here. So I'm just going to do single line comment, and this program will print hello world or something similar to that. So now what we need to do is we need to include IO stream. Now you'll learn what all these things are. So this is not the whole purpose of it. It's just a main to get you familiar with Visual Studio. And we're going to put in using namespace standard. And then a semicolon here. Now, I will explain later on what namespace standard is, and I will point you to a video that explains the pros and cons. In this class, make it easier on yourself and just use namespace standard in there. You don't have to, but to make it easier on yourself, if you're a beginning student, do it. So we're going to put in int main, which is required for any main function in C++. And what we're going to do here is cout, nothing more than hello world. Make sure you put a semicolon here and then comment the line, display message. So what you want to make sure is that you have comments on top with your name and with the program description. And you want to make sure that you have the cout, which stands for console out. And we're going to also display message in here. So if you're with Python, just remember the difference between this program and Python is going to be you're going to use print in here, and then the comments are a number sign. Java is the same thing, only you're going to be using system.out. However, for C++, this is the easiest way to do it. You are required to do a C++ program in here. So when you're done, this is all you need to turn into me. So for me to test it, I'm going to click right over here. We don't really need debugging. If I haven't made any mistakes, then everything should run fine. And it tells me this program is out of date. Do I want to rebuild it? I'm really not sure why it is giving me that message, but apparently it's letting me do it. So let's see what happens. And so it prints hello world. So that's good. So if you get that message. So what I want to do is just make a simple mistake here. Let me forget the semicolon here. And this is why I like Visual Studio so much. So let's go and try to run it again. And I guess I'm going to get this message all the time, but that's okay. So let's see if we get, so now we get an error message. And it says failed to build. It always answer this no. So it tells you right here that you're missing the semicolon here. So which is really good, expected a semicolon. So Visual Studio is really good at explaining what the issue is. So let's run it one more time. And yes, I guess we need to. So I guess I can choose this, don't show this message again. And we have hello world. So now when we need to submit it, you need to do is click on, first of all, let's go back one step here and let's see where this actually is. So I'm going to choose save hello world as, and it gives me where it's actually at. So I'm just going to copy this here, or you can save it wherever you want to do and just remember where it is, or you can browse. So to submit it, and I'm not going to be able to do this, but I'm going to get you started on it. So you're going to go to Chrome here, and you can submit it from within the Codio Visual Studio. are actually through Chrome and Brightspace. So let's click on, we don't really need this here, and we're going to go to Brightspace in here. You're going to log in to Brightspace, and what you're going to do is open up the activity, and then you're going to submit the CPP code. All you ever need to do is submit the CPP code in there. For this particular project, you submit. So when you're done, you are done, and you can close the Codio environment. So that is all you need to do. Hopefully that is not so hard for you to do. So let me know if you have any issues in it, and I'll try to address them. I plan on holding weekly Zoom meetings on Saturday so that I can help you out with any issues that you might have. So with it, have a good day.